I know, right? High viewership of 7 people.
Oh, pressure.
Yep. Actually, I do have one video with like 1,000 views, but it's not any of our take bullshit. I know. But
it's ironic that probably the most viewed video of that is a video of him eating shit as a student.
Yeah, it's just one mat, one cup. It's just that video of me with the sheep, exactly. Anyway, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons before this gets weirdly off topic. Too late.
Before?
Too late.
God, I'm gonna have to really change gears because we're starting with Lucian visiting the Raven Queen.
Is he on the highway to hell for this?
No.
I love it.
Might be.
So, before we get started on the contract, one of the members does have a bit of personal business to deal with. We find Lucian standing outside of the large, imposing, dark building, which is the sanctum of the Raven Queen. It's the center of worship for
Raven's Crest.
Raven's Crest. Yeah, the center of worship for the Raven Queen in the city of Vasselheim. And yeah, you're there. It's as normal, kind of quiet. Unlike maybe like Bahamut's worshippers or the other sort of major religious centers, people don't like move around or mill about in the same way here. There's a more a somberness to it, and there's no one watching. But you know, this is not a new place, Lucian. You have came here for worship before. You have a kind of understanding. You are allowed to enter and come and go as you please here.
And they do.
All right. So you move through the doors, through the strange glassy hallways of the crest. Your footsteps making sort of the only real noise that you hear as they click along. It's been a while since I've seen that particular episode, but I know Mercer sort of described it as almost like it sounded to me like a building of black ice almost. Kind of glass.
I literally watched it 2 days ago because, you know...
Oh, Tim, can you just describe us then up to them going in the pool?
It's basically a almost cubicle, big black spire. And once you enter, looking outside, instead of the blackness that you see from the outside, you see a somewhat dim, almost like looking through sunglasses. You see the city around you, as if looking through like two-way glass. And there's a hallway and basically stairs, and then a big door with a big old kind of what's it, like knocking apparatus, and behind it is a beautiful, colorful room, lots of stained glass that kind of spreads colored light to the bottom of the room, and in the middle is a big old pool of blood.
Yes, thank you, Tim. So yeah, you find yourself standing before this big old pool of, to be blood. Has Lucian been here before? Have you entered? No. This is your first communion with the Raven Queen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Lucian's never been.
You've never been before?
In touch with her.
So it's always been for the priesthood. You've done you felt her influence, but not came personally for communion. Are you in your full armor? I mean, I imagine Lucian always is, but I'm just checking for this moment.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So you're there in your slightly darkened steel armor, or mithril armor actually, and yeah, you're before the pool. Do you submerge yourself? You know the principle, as a paladin of Raven Queen. It's kind of one of those things, we've heard the stories, you've done it in theory, but you yourself have never personally gone through it.
Yeah, and he's a bit terrified.
Yeah.
But he's gonna do it.
Alright.
So, slow step by step into the pool.
Alright.
Letting the blood slowly wash over me.
Yeah. And you're no stranger to the texture and smell around you. Blood is not an unusual thing to you, with your own personal habits, but you feel none of that strange craving you've had in the past. This does not feel like the blood of something evil. This is a more not natural, but definitely not connected to your more demonic side. And you slide under the blood, and yeah, you just sort of suspend in not quite nothingness, just there, like floating, like being deep underwater, but thicker. And yeah, you suspend there a long time until part of you's like, should something have happened by now? Should I be thinking? Has something gone wrong? Has she decided not to visit me?
Then he notices the second pool with the arrow that says, "This pool for talking to the Raven Queen." This is the decorative pool.
And then Adam mutes himself. Yeah, so what's Lucian's reaction? Do you calmly wait? Do you start to panic? Because you're submerged.
Panicking a little. But this has never worked before. Why is it going to work now?
All right. Do you try and pull yourself above the water or above the blood?
Yeah, I'll start heading back.
All right. You start trying to kick up and leave the pool, but you find yourself unable to. Your feet were on ground, but now they're not, and you're trying to swim up. And despite all your armor, the mithril armor, you should be able to swim in it, but you don't feel like you're making any progress. In fact, if anything, you're sinking deeper and lower until your lungs are burning. Like, you have to take a breath. There's no way around that. You've got to fill your lungs, and you do. You open your mouth. The blood like rushes in, but you don't choke. There's no moment of like lack of air. Instead, it fills your lungs, and the blood sort of seems to the darkness around you seems to lighten just a crack, and you can see a strand of golden light just in front of your face, just very slightly illuminating the room. And you can see, it's just a strand of golden light.
I look around.
All right, you look around. Yeah, this is one strand. It seems to be going off in a direction, and you feel like you can like follow after the strand.
Well, if nothing's going to happen, I suppose I will follow the strand.
All right, you follow after it. It's almost like you think about following after it, and you do. You don't have to swim or walk. You just follow along the strand, and you see like other strands of golden light cross the strand's path, and several of the ones that cross the path seem to splinter, like to break and be cut, and their strands seem to end. And you pass a few of these broken strands, and a voice says, "So much tragedy in one life."
Yes, I've seen much. I imagine you've seen more, though.
I have seen
much more.
Yes, that is the burden of our order, to see the tragedies of this world, to be its witness. And I understand that this has become difficult for you, my champion.
It is a burden I can no longer bear. I came to you as a broken child, and you helped me put some of those pieces back together. And maybe who I am now is still broken. I need to find the rest of those pieces that are missing, and I don't believe I can do that with you. I don't believe you're... I don't believe your dogma will allow me. I need to find something different.
I do not choose many champions. I do not
Sorry, I
hold.
think you cut out there.
I do not choose many champions. I am not Bahamut, who sets forwards his people on crusades. The ones I do choose, I allow to find their own path. And you kind of move along a little bit, and you see a hand clutching onto the golden thread, a sort of pale feminine hand, and you sort of follow it, and it's impossibly long. Like the arm seems to stretch off and off into the distance, and you can see there's a massive dark shape, and all around the dark shape are many more of these golden threads. And it says, "I understand your want to leave. You feel that you have needs beyond my church. But I am afraid I cannot accept your resignation. For I am not just the goddess of death, but a fate weaver, and I still have need of your fate. Carry on as you see fit. Do not worry too much about the dogmas that you think restrain you. I am watching you. But you have my support."
I do. Why have you never spoken to me before then?
Because you need to find your own way in this. It is not my place to take an active hand. Stuff has a natural order, and as such, things must happen naturally. Carry on as you see fit. Everything is going according to my plan.
And what is that plan?
To make sure that you are made whole, and to make sure that the abominations upon this world are smout and dealt with. You have been a strong instrument in that, and achieved much good. And you will continue to do so. And while I know that the losses you have suffered have been terrible ones, they have not been your fault. Others have been reckless, and your own caution, while not allowing you to save them, has kept you safe, so that when everything has failed and fallen apart, you have managed to complete what must be done, and doing so has saved many lives.
I'd hope so.
Continue on, Lucian.
Yes.
There is more in your future with me. In time we can revisit this if you still want to move on.
I shall.
Okay. And she, there's like a moment she like plucks the string, like pulls it just a little bit, and you find yourself beside the pool of blood, like coughing up all this like rich ichor.
Ah, that's good stuff. I'll just lie here for a while. And then probably get shooed out by a
Yeah, there's a queue
annoyed priest.
forming of adventurers who want
it's
to
getting
go in.
awkward.
Yeah, you can see Scanlan's there, like waiting to get into the pool. You know, not sure why.
Completely nude.
Completely nude.
Just
Yeah, I'll be an arse and just let them carry me out. Armor and all.
All right. I mean, yeah, they just put you out. They think you're just a suit of armor, so they put you in storage, which is a little awkward. But you eventually get make your way out, and you know, still a little bit dripping with gore, which is gross. But you've got a contract to go to. You've got a You've got a job to do. You have to go see Auntie Elderflower.
Good point. And I shall rush to partake.
Does he slosh as he walks?
Oh yeah, because he's in
poured
plate
in
meal.
his
That stuff traps things, you know. It's not good drainage.
Oh, you do not want to know what my socks are like right now.
It's the D&D equivalent of Tupperware.
Fair.
I
Alright.
feel there must be an image of that somewhere.
So you guys go on your way. You get told where to go. You go off on a great quest, but you're also all pretty high level, so I'm not going to give you any fancy pies. I think you guys can handle your own healing with your 2 priests.
Can we give Joe a death pie?
No, it's fine. I'm definitely going to die, and no pie is going to stop me this time.
I mean, yeah, we can handle our own healing, but Deathwood is a 4th level spell, and we may be stingy with them, so we'll just have to admit to ourselves Deathwood is a good spell to cast before.
Yeah. You guys head out into the woods. So the party we see kind of leaving Vasselheim.
Why does Auntie Elderflower look like a character from a Saturday morning cartoon?
Because she's a lovely, friendly lady. I had to find a better token. That's Auntie Elderflower.
Hello!
Hello!
Come into me house.
Not necessarily how I imagined her, but I guess.
It's not on the Elderflower for me personally. It's
okay.
The type of horror exhibited is not the same.
In my head, the face is the same and everything, and the hair, but the body moves unnaturally with it. Like the face doesn't really belong there. You know, like you have these big bads that have just like the stuck-on happy smiley face. It's like that.
Yeah, but the party we see leaving Vasselheim because you've got to go see Auntie Elderflower. We see Lucian, probably somewhat scrubbed up, heavily armored tiefling, horns poking out of this plate armor helmet. Vladimir, the bearded, sub-armored priest with us. What does Vladimir actually look like now? Because he's been with the take for a while, so his look must have changed since I first sort of asked.
I feel like Vladimir has a big distinction between what he looks like casually and what he looks like on a contract.
Yeah, so I know he looks like casually, but on a contract, I'm curious actually.
He's a little more. He's a lot more put together. He usually wears like decent clothing and his like half plate. So, like, pretty armored up. He has a shield, and in his other hand clutches his holy symbol, which is kind of, like, attached to, I probably like it. Either, I don't know if it's like he's wearing it like a necklace and clutching it, like a long necklace, or it's attached to his belt, but it's, like, somehow attached to him, so he can't, like, accidentally drop it or some shit.
I can't picture in my head, like, looking like a holy crusader, though. Is the armor maybe more along the lines of like what we'd think of with like old like Persian armor or Transylvanian, like that kind of.
Yeah, it's more like imagine kind of Warhammer Fantasy Vampire Count armor.
Yep, got it.
I want
darker Transylvanian style, less like weird edges and spikes, but like kind of more a little darker, a little more like of Eastern European.
We need a description of what the shoulder pauldrons look like, because that's where armor defines itself. If they're like really high spiky ones, it just looks fucking stupid.
It's World of Warcraft shoulder pauldrons, so they're like 6 foot tall, 8 spikes.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
No, if they're kind of the vampire count ones, to be very smooth soldier pauldrons, like it's armor made to be moved.
Yeah, probably like the left one is like a little bit fancier than the right. Like there's not a big spike or something, not like Vlad von Carstein style, where it's just a giant golden spike on the left shoulder, but it's like a little fancier. It has some like kind of almost like bluish gold inlays. It's not magic, so it's not like super fancy armor.
But you're also quite wealthy by this stage, so you've probably had it quite nicely made up. Yeah. And then so we see like you come over.
Well maintained,
yeah, we see you come through the gatehouse, kind of going out into the woods of Vasselheim, and then a little while later on, we sort of see you moving through the woods, and we see we get a look at John, who I imagine is like the glowing crusader almost. But
yeah, kind of bar the immense muscles that they often support. He is wearing the fullest of most non-flashy supportive full plate you could have.
Oh, so it's not like shining. It's not like mirror shine armor. It's like you're wearing just the most generic plate armor. Like
it has a slight sheen of being blue. It's well kept, but it's not polished to being shining, and it's also
not designed to stand
so
out. It looks very utilitarian. Like it's designed for purpose.
It's also made so that if I crouch, the plate's shaped in such a position that I can hold my crouch and dodge at the same time. So it's perfect for turtling. Like if I need to crouch and roll into a ball, it allows for that. For dodging and sanctuaring and just staying up.
Sir, what sort of armor would you like? The sort where you can fend off a horde? No, I'd like the sort of armor where if my knees shake, it doesn't clang too much. Is that possible?
I want the type of armor when I go to the toilet, it doesn't make a noise.
So very, very utilitarian, very like efficient armor on John, designed to like use, not so much show up. And then a little while later on, we see you moving deep into these deep woods. Stuff gets, and we see Uncle Joe struggling along. What does Uncle Joe look like? I mean, I think we all have a pretty strong image.
Uncle Joe, well, he's wearing his ogre skull with the dark vision, not dark vision, night vision.
Alright, maybe my vision for Uncle Joe was completely wrong.
Yeah. He's wearing his lovely fancy blue robes, because, he runs a bar now, he has to look respectable. Although they are tucked into his pants at the back, so you can see his arse if you're standing behind him. Which is probably why he's taken up the rear of this party. Nobody really wants to see his skinny old arse. And his beard's been plaited by, I think it was either Silver or Gwyn, keep plaiting his beard when he's fallen asleep.
You've also got massive leathery hands, like ogre gauntlets, don't you?
Oh yeah, he's jacked. He's got for an old man who's pretty much on the edge of death. He's Master Roshiing the shit out of.
So there's this very like proper, like respectable looking archmage, except for like the most traditional wizard you can picture, but somebody's stuck a leather skull helm on him, and he's got big like creepy claw hands. Bloody necromancer.
Yeah, he doesn't look anything like a wizard, I think. Is where we're going here. He just looks like a weird amalgamation of magical items, kind of, with a robe wrapped around them.
Yeah, that's a wizard. And finally, we see... This is the first time I've seen Denk, so I'm curious. We see somebody who's not made their way to Anti-Elderflower before, probably banging their head on a low branch, and it shatters and explodes.
I imagine he probably bangs his head on a few low branches and doesn't notice at all. Denk is almost 8 foot Goliath, covered in tattoos, and he's only wearing like a sort of like loincloth made out of a cloak of protection.
You're doing the exact same thing Herclock does, who wears a kilt of protection. Excellent.
Yeah. And he's got some gauntlets on, ogre strength, but he doesn't like to admit. And he the only two things he carries really is this huge morning star, which is basically like a tree branch with a lump of stone in it, with loads of bits of just like jagged silver stuck into it. It's sort of got these like faint blue veins in it, and they glow. He's got this sort of vacant expression on his face and a big shield that is a bullite's head.
So what we probably see is like John come over like sort of, come over some like just over like a little rise, over some like like a little ridge, and then just Denk like slowly like appear behind you and just rise up and up and up over John until you just look like a child next to him. And yeah, you guys.
I'm not that.
Joe. God damn it, you're both on a contract. That's gonna happen in a bit. So you guys eventually
if it helps, I'll change my name.
I'll try and call John.
Can I become the Salt Lord? Can everyone just refer to me as that?
Yeah, I'm happy to call you the Salt Lord.
What about Captain Salty?
Captain Salty. All right, so you guys make your way into this into the woods. And for Denk, this is the first time. This is a very old part of the ancient woods around Vasselheim. There's a kind of smell of mildew in the air, and like a little bit of a smell of like both like rot and that sweet smell of like of wild plants in amongst it. It's a very like earthy, natural place.
Oh,
and eventually,
it smells like Joe's.
Yeah, exactly. It smells like Joe's basement. Like death, but also weird perfumes from the many weird
I'm
take
getting
members.
homesick.
And you make your way into this. You eventually find this clearing, and in the middle of the clearing is a large, like, standing stone, an ancient obelisk. However, when you arrive, there's already in place, like you don't have to call it like you normally do, is a hut, a hut atop a giant tree stump that has large roots coming out of it, pushing into the ground all around it. And there's a rope ladder that's came off the hut, and it's just waiting there for you guys when you arrive.
Well, I shall proceed to climb up it.
Yeah, you've been here a fair few times now, Lucian. Lucian goes over, climbs up a rope ladder, and enters this little hut.
Doesn't look very secure. You sure it's going to take my weight?
I think it's quite sturdy.
Okay, I'll follow Lucian up.
You just rip it straight off.
She's much more than she seems.
If it can hold the 500 kilos of armor that's just climbed up it, it should be fine.
Oh, it's a fair point.
You guys all make your way up to the top, and you enter this little hut, and there's this crowded, very full of just oddities hut. There's books piled up in corners, there's jars of things. You see like an eye kind of watching you from a jar as you kind of come in. There's a large cauldron bubbling away in one corner. And sitting behind the table, waiting for you, like she's not bustling around doing other things, waiting for you is this sort of dumpy, oldish lady. She's got like red hair with a shock of white through it, like little spectacles. She's wearing an apron with elderflower like designs on it. And she's waiting for you. She's got tea already prepared. There's little cakes on the tables in front of you. Little friends' fancies and stuff. And she sees you coming. She goes, "Oh, hello, Lucian. It's good to see you. And Vladimir. Oh, good. I've got both of you. I was hoping you'd show up. And oh, John. And oh, Uncle." And she like runs her hands through her hair and like just makes sure it's all right. "You're looking nice today."
I was just thinking the same thing about you, my sweet. I'm so sorry we're late, but Lucian went for a swim, and, you know, we had to polish him up before he came here. We can't have you seeing people.
Of course, that makes absolute sense. And you look, and then she like sees Denk come in, and, like you have to like duck, and you're taller than the roof is pretty much, so you're stooped over, and she goes, "Oh my, he is quite the tall specimen, isn't he?" Oh no, I'm glad. Business is what we're here for. Pleasure later. So, yes, you've dealt with the other hags in the area, which is good because they were definitely causing you some trouble. I understand you personally got to deal with the last one, Lucian. That unfortunate maiden, she called herself, when she worked for the Hag's Heart. Well, good. There's only one more problem we have to deal with, and then we can head back to the sunken city and close the portal to the realm of the immortal one. And she looks over at Denk and goes, "None of it really matters. It's backstory from other things. Important thing to know is very, very old, very, very evil hag, and you need to hit it with something until it dies." Does that sound good?
Denk's like okay as he's like shoving food into his face.
Yeah, there's like delicious eclairs and French fancies, and she's like,
oh, he loves it.
He's like, "Oh, and she like gets up and goes away and like goes through this little like curtain and comes out a couple of seconds later like and she just puts down like a massive tray of pastries like just in front of Denk and goes, "I didn't realize they'd have such a statuesque figure with them. There you go, my good friend."
Thank you very much.
Auntie, I don't suppose you have some fruit, do you? Because I'm watching my figure. The other day...
That's nice, Uncle. Yes. She keeps her eyes on Denk. She's like, "Well, anyway, The important thing to know is you know the part of the wood she's in. It's a wee bit of travel away, but you arrive there. Normally mortals can't enter it. The wards around are very strong, but I'm going to leave a little entrance for you, a little back door. It will still probably be a bit tricky to get around. It is a hag's wood after all. But
I'm used to getting around your tricky little back doors.
No, that's just lovely.
He's not.
Yes,
He's not, so he should have to look out for it.
Interesting, Uncle. That's lovely. Yes, but you just have to go inside, find the and find her, find Anti-Flesh, and deal with her once and for all. I do stress you should try not to underestimate her. She's been around for a long time, and she's not a normal hag.
Her name is Uncle Flesh. It is difficult not to underestimate her intelligence.
Yes, maybe that's the point.
What can we expect from her?
Well, she has minions in there. I know that she's gathered creatures around her. I myself have never actually met her. In all the time I've been here, we tend to avoid each other. I'm don't associate with that sort.
I've heard that certain hags can enter a covenant to increase their power more than their parts. Would you imagine she would be in some sort of covenant with maybe lesser hags to boost herself?
I don't believe she could personally enter a coven. She's not a hag she's something else. She looks kind of awkward. She's an abomination. I don't think another hag could enter a coven with her.
Oh, so the Anti-Flesh, the Auntie is the type.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The Auntie of the Flesh is the title, not the flesh.
No, she's just called Anti-Flesh. She likes skinning people. That's where the name came from, alright?
Maybe she could enter the coven. Have you never heard of the maiden, the mother, the crone, the horrid abomination they all drag along? It's very well known.
But she may. I don't know if she called other hags to her. I can't think of any natural hags who would spend time around such a creature.
Any more of those red people that called lightning on us, because that was not my favorite.
If this Anti-Flesh skins people, maybe if we skin ourselves in advance, we'll be able to move under her radar and she won't spot us.
Okay, you first, Joe.
Head, take this. You touch Joe lightly and all of his skin just falls off. Right, who's next?
Oh, that was easy.
By the gods, now what?
It's normal. He sheds himself like Snake every once in a while.
She dispels your minor illusion spell.
Oh, nearly tricked him. You're too smart for me.
Anyway, I don't know what else to tell you. Just be careful.
Is she vulnerable to any sorts of damage, or that thing? Is she invulnerable to other things?
Oh, you know? She's probably aquatic, being a hag. They tend to live underwater quite well. I don't think she's vulnerable to any. Like I said, I've never actually. We've lived in the same area a long time, but we tend to dance around each other.
Do you know what she actually is? How she was created? If you say she's an abomination, I assume she's different from other hags.
Roll a persuasion check. You get the feeling she's actually doesn't really want to talk about it, almost like it makes her uncomfortable.
Damn.
I am a charming man. What can I say?
Yeah, she drags her eyes off dense abdominal muscles and looks at Vladimir for the first time, and she kind of looks thoughtful for a second and goes, "Well, I suppose it's important that you know what you're going up against. She is the child. Hags don't have children in the traditional sense, but this particular creature, the reason she's an abomination, a long time ago, one of those red hags that you encountered in the Feywild,
Ugh.
Yes, one of those. She was working with a vampire, and, well, I'm not going to say the two fell in love, because neither creature is particularly capable of such an act. They did that stuff that, and she looks at Denk again.
They had
And,
How is baby formed?
yes, that stuff. And she had a child. And that child was anti-flesh. The offspring of a red hag and a vampire. That's why she's considered an abomination.
A hag ire.
But as I understand it, she has none of the
I
weaknesses of a
understand.
vampire.
So she may then be vulnerable to the things that vampires are vulnerable to, things
Well-
like daylight and
And
radiant
dawn.
damage.
As I understand it, she has
Running
none of
water.
the normal vampire weaknesses. But some of
Well,
their
you didn't
strengths.
know anything a moment ago.
Well, as I said, as I understand it. Perhaps she does. I've never dealt with her.
Strengths.
Oh, you know what? We can experiment. Does anybody have garlic on them? He eyes Vladimir.
Yes.
Try the garlic first.
Well,
Always.
Fairly sure garlic is a myth.
well,
No, garlic is very real life.
Garlic.
I know that
Have
she.
you ever met an Italian?
I know that she's
No,
very
I mean-
intelligent, and I know that she's
As
stronger than she
as
appears.
Vampires.
Stronger. Oh, like me.
Yes.
I smell stronger than I appear.
Yes,
no,
what a
you do
ledger.
not.
Yes, that does seem to be true.
You smell about appropriate for what you appear like, Joe.
You too.
But I'm afraid I don't know much beyond that. Before you go, I know that the take is paying you for these particular actions, but I understand you lost somebody recently, a friend. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, Finch, he
I don't know
got
if you
turned into
knew him,
dust.
but he was connected to the Fable.
But yes, the Feywild has been something abuzz about that particular death. That little bit of talking. Somebody apparently has been claiming there's been talk that of his death, as there were certain Fays who had an interest in his continued existence.
The Briar Lord, he swore fealty to him. I'm aware of it. I was there.
Yes, but another Fey apparently has access to his children, or one of them anyway, and wife. And there's been a little talk about who's going to take them, perhaps pass on Finch's debts to those particular youngsters.
Well, I believe we are the ones that are going to take them, which is why one of his daughters sought us out.
Yes, but I might have a way of you actually discovering where the other daughter and wife is, if you complete this.
That would be incredibly appreciated.
Yes, there's a little soiree I can get you invited to. And Lucian, she looks at Lucian and smiles. I've known you for a time now, and I know a little of your particular problem, and I might be able to help with that too.
Which problem?
He smiles and goes, the girl. I might be able to help her.
Yes. Yes. Any help I can get with that. It's such a money.
Yes, with your passenger. I can see it in your eyes. I have since the first time I met you. So I've been looking into it, in case you ever, I could help.
If you can help, I will happily accept that aid.
Excellent. Well, after today, maybe we'll be able to... I can talk to you more about what will be needed for that. Good.
Of course.
Sorry, that all got very serious for a second there. I hate talking business. And, Uncle, you can have your etin penises back there on the side. She points over at this jar on the side with 2 etten penises in it.
Oh, it's fine. I'm not hungry at the moment. I'll just pick them up on the way back if that's all right.
No, that's fine. I don't need them anymore. She looks at Denk.
Well, okay, fine. Can I keep the jar?
No, if you could send that back, that would be great.
Fine. Thank you.
I would like to insight check onto the other.
Okay.
I will first say what I'm trying to.
Are you trying to insight if she really wants the jar back or not? Because I think she does.
I'm trying to insight her to see if she's actually like trying to rile up your emotions, like she's actually still has feelings for you. Like, no, that's it. Like, is she just trying to like get you riled up? Because like, come on, come on. I mean,
Trying
you
to
are
get you
equally as
jealous,
strong.
I believe, is what he's
Dank's being completely oblivious, tucking in.
I would also like to insert check on something a little more serious. When she talks about Finch's children, I would like to see if I can notice anything on her expression. I doubt I can, but it's worth a shot to see if there's anything in it for her. Like if she's just doing this as payment and out of the goodness of her heart, or if she has any interest in the matter.
Yeah, you can roll an insight check on that. John. John. You think she is deliberately trying to get Uncle Joe riled up. Like, being direct didn't work. She's playing hard to get.
Did he whisper you the roll?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
I may have rolled in that one, and I'm thinking fantasy.
The insight roll I have. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay.
This is the thing though. Do people really want to sit here for 5 hours while Matt and myself role play 2 old people having sex? Because I'm happy to do that. As long as we get XP for it, I'm happy to.
Pretty sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the contract is called anti-flash and not not lemon party.
This
so,
is Auntie.
Joe,
Here
I'll
comes
cast
the
haste
flesh.
on you.
Both of them are going, is it in yet? I can't remember. Has it came? I don't know.
It's called anti-flash, not auntie's flash. All right.
What were we doing again? Michael.
Auntie bondage.
It's just over and over again. Yes, we're going to need even more lube.
I assume my 17 insight doesn't do it. Doesn't get me anything, right?
I mean, I don't know if she's actually particularly trying to hide this. It's because she's not like lying about anything here. The insight gets you perhaps that you're not sure if she has anything personally to gain from it, other than she does seem to find you a useful like group, so she is interested in keeping you on her side. And the other thing, a natural insight from like how things tend to work is she seems relatively like powerful in her position, but also she's not a Fey Lord. You don't think so? Any like chaos you guys stir up in the Feywild, she can probably capitalize on.
Oh yeah. I mean, I assume as much. Like,
so it might not be like directly like yes, kill my rival. She's in a position to work with the status quo getting shook up a little bit. And she's aware you guys are a blunt force instrument that do that.
She's an opportunist.
Exactly.
And this much we kind of know, like from what we've learned of her.
Yeah.
Like she's very opportunistic.
Half of what she's had you do is like remove other figures of power. So she seems to like power vacuums.
And it's convenient because we don't give a fuck about the Feywild. So if she messes with it, like we're like, I
give a fuck about the Feywild to the extent that it concerns Finch's family.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I mean,
so you guys head off. Kind of move things along now. Auntie Elithar wishes you all a good day. Gives Denk like a big parcel of treats for the road. Kind of lingers her hand on your.
Thank you.
She lingers her hand on your like bicep a little too long, and off you go. Only John notices like the glance she gives Uncle Joe as he leaves as well. And you guys all head off. Jar of slightly nibble-edged penises. Wonderful. You guys, God, that contract was so long ago now. You guys head off. You move from this dark, ancient wood. You travel for a time and you enter an even more dark and ancient wood. You kind of find yourself, it's quite obvious, like, you travel through the lands that you're pretty sure are controlled by anti-elderflower. They're very, very old. There's a sort of scent of mildew in the air and, just a kind of feeling of ancientness to it. And when you move through that, there's a little bit of time like going through no man's land, but eventually you find yourself entering. You enter a bit of land where it gets even darker. There's a real feeling of sickness to the woods here, and you start to find on the trees little wooden fetishes set up, little stick and straw men, but they've been wrapped in effectively little suits of flesh. Skin has been like woven into them or covers them, and yeah, everything becomes intensely uncomfortable. And you do, however, still smell on the air this slight scent of wildflowers that you've kind of come to associate with anti-elderflower's part of the wood, almost like you're carrying a little of her magic in with you.
Guys, we've done some weird shit on this, but this is like taking the biscuit on the creepiest play.
Not bad. This is the second one.
What did I miss? Was there a fight?
I tell you what you missed, Joe. You take my word for it. Auntie Elderflower still has the hots for you. She just ain't hard to get.
No idea what you're talking about, boy.
Lucian, do you intend to take her up on that offer of helping you?
I don't see why not.
How can you before? I didn't get that part.
She's an opportunistic hag that probably won't do anything unless it is in her own self-interest. She's tricksy.
It's in her own self-interest and not this.
Yeah,
Well,
this is
for
like
now
a very reasonable person. I mean, she may benefit from these things, but that doesn't mean that her intentions are, ill towards us.
No, of course not. It's just there might come a day where what she can get by pissing us off is more valuable than what she can get by not pissing. And I believe on that day, her loyalty could shift very rapidly. I've talked to some powerful fake creatures about her and her allegiances in the last time. A lot of fey things going on, fey bullshit, if you will. And I wouldn't trust her per se.
I mean, I don't trust her either.
I should say that
of course you are.
Vladimir.
You're fully free to make your own choices. I just wanted to tell you my opinion.
I think one day we're probably going to have to kill that woman. And on that day, I don't remember what I was saying, but I think it'll happen.
It's alright, Joe. We'll be with you when you do.
Oh, speaking of
will
not
you?
remembering, is this going to be one of the contracts, because everybody keeps on saying Faye, that I leave the take, we travel a bit, and then I suddenly end back up with the take with a bag of gold, because I quite like them.
I can simply cast Greater Restoration on you if you want to, if you...
No.
It'll cost you though.
Don't hurt the poor boy.
What? I look at Uncle Joe confused, like...
It's best he doesn't know the horrible things that he does in the wild.
It's true.
Yeah,
What do I do?
remember?
That's cool.
I mean,
I remember that one fake
crawled out like
contract
a
where he...
whale. He crawled out like a bloody whale one time that was rotting.
I remember the one fake contract where he was attacked and then he started crying and peed himself, and it was horrendous. Really incredibly awkward, embarrassing display of really everything.
Yeah.
I'm glad he does not.
You make
John, your
That
audio's a
doesn't sound
little
like me,
little
but I do.
peaky today. I don't know.
no.
Your audio's a little peaky today, John. Is your mic very close to your mouth, or maybe in a weird position?
I'm maybe loud today. I'm maybe loud.
It's just a little hard to hear you. because it comes through a little
He's
loud
buried
but
in salt.
mumbly. Just so you know. Right,
Is it
so you... no, it's also cutting up. It's fine. You guys travel through these dark woods, chatting about, this and that, and Denk's wetting himself in bloodlust. And, yeah, the wood continues to get darker, and you continue to move deeper. Lucian, you're not actually able to ride Larkin through this kind of wood. Like, there's no space for a horse to, move. At times, you're clambering over...
Okay.
just grossness, I don't know if you ever walk through deep wood, but it's just everything's very packed in places. You're moving through foliage a lot of the time. How are you trying to? Yeah, because you don't have a straight line road direction to go. How are you? What are you trying to? How are you trying to find your way?
You can send Gertrude, but
He turned an owl up. He looks around.
All right.
It was
Yeah.
one of those fake contracts. We have Elderflower's magic with us, if I remember correctly. I believe we just picked direction, and we will probably end up where we need to be. I don't
Yeah.
think she would risk us getting lost.
I think you're confusing Auntie Elderflower with Auntie Sadnav.
That has. You're absolutely right, Vlad. That has been true in the past. But you also are kind of aware this isn't Auntie Elderflower's domain, and she doesn't seem to know a lot about it. So you're not sure if she would be able to lead you. You don't get that same kind of unerring direction sense you've had in other contracts involving her. And when you send the owls up, oh yeah. Well, when you send the owl up, he looks around and it's just deep woodland beneath them. There's a canopy of thick trees that they cannot see through.
Looking at the fetishes, is there any pattern to them? Do they kind of... is there more of them in one direction and less of them in another, or are they just kind of...
Yeah, you can roll
everywhere?
A knowledge check if you want.
That is not a skill that exists.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever knowledge check you would use to discern this, you can roll it, and I'll give you information depending on which one you use.
I'm trying to see where they are, right? So perception.
I mean, you can maybe roll investigation.
I could do that too if you want.
Whichever one you want, and that will depend
I could
on the
also
information
roll an
I give
arcana
you.
to see the nature of the fetishes, but let's do that first. I kind of want to know what these are about, so I would like to roll an arcana.
Yeah.
In case they are magical.
We'll go with investigation then.
Great roll, me.
No. I mean, you're not sure. Part of the problem is it's not a magic you yourself are very aware of or use, because it's the weird there's weird Fey magic and then there's weird hag magic. They don't follow the normal rules you associate. They're definitely, you think, connected magically, but you're not sure for what purpose. Oh, Lucian, you see magic fucking everywhere. Just weaved into the very trees and water of this place. It flows through the air around you.
Uncle Joe, come over here real quick.
Yeah.
I just slowly put my hand on your face. That's Death Lord.
Do the fetishes appear to be magic?
Yes, they have enchantment magic on them, and whatever the warding magic is.
Abjuration.
Abjuration, yeah. But they don't glow like a strong rune. They just have a sort of an ambient magic to them.
Could I try to make an investigation check to see how this...
Yeah, you can look at it more of kind of a logical way in how it is.
Yeah, kind of does the frequency of them increase in any direction or anything like that? Probably a good call.
$16. With that, you kind of gather that they are very randomly dispersed. they seem rather higgledy-piggledy to you, like around. You find them just here and there. They don't seem to get more in one direction or less. They're just very much spaced out in all directions. The only thing you would notice is...
trying to make a path?
No, they're not trying to make a path. The one thing you do notice is they all seem to be like... Since they're mostly like little... So a lot of them are little men, like hanged on nooses and that kind of like... They all seem to be facing out the way. As you walk deeper into the woods, they seem to be facing in your direction. So you get the feeling at least you're going deeper into the woods. Yeah.
If I turn around, do I see other ones looking in the other direction on the backs of the trees that we don't see?
No. Like whenever you find one, like they're facing kind of in the direction you're coming from. Although like it's not like you can like go I can like zero in from a semicircle. It's just like they look, they're pointing outwards.
They seem to potentially magically always look in the direction of the person coming towards them.
No. When you go past them, they're still facing like the direction they were before. They're facing out, like you're going deeper into the woods. They face like outwards of her domain.
They just face out. All right.
Yeah, they don't seem to follow you.
I think the way this is, all these things, this is whatever it is domain, and all them things are watching us. She knows we're here, I would imagine, and I think we just carry on until we start getting beaten off.
I put up a middle finger to one of the little feathers. Fuck you.
Yeah, nothing happens. You just flip off this like little totem of like it looks like a cow, but kind of like made out of sticks, but the stomach has been opened and like little string is coming out of the stomach.
My medicine is +9. I always know.
John doesn't.
John thinks Joe's dead.
It's a shame. He's undead. Quick, turn undead.
We should.
So you're just going to... Oh, sorry. Off you go, Adam.
I think we should carry on going until we find something.
The cauldron.
Yeah.
You said that there's a kind of ebb and flow to the magic I could see.
She did say that.
Yes, but it's very much just in all directions. It's not. I know you can see the direction. It's not like coming from a central point. It's like the very
try and feel the flow to see where it's leading him.
I mean, Lucian can see the flow, and it doesn't really lead anywhere. It's almost like it's just ingrained into everything here. It's not like from a centralized part. It's just everything here has some of the magic within it, like infecting it. It's almost like everything here has the same disease in it.
Joe, just try and guess which way they need to head then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can Denk use survival and just like pick a direction?
I'm very sure that we need to head northwest. That sounds like the best plan.
If we take 10 minutes, I can cast commune spell as ritual and ask 3 yes or no question about the situation.
Well, we've been stood here for about 4 hours, so I don't see why spending another 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can say you've done that. You can commune with nature.
Right. I'm not gonna use divination because I don't like divination. Commune is just straight up yes or no questions. So let's do that one. Kind of been going in the same direction all this time, right?
Yeah, just deeper.
So my first question is going to be, if we are searching for anti-flesh, are we going in the right direction?
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
That's good. I'm thinking second question, is she already aware of our presence?
Yes.
I assumed as much. Kind of like look at the others, like, any other hot ideas?
Ask if she has a
It's a yes or no question, isn't it?
Yes, it is a yes or no question. Does she have a vulnerability to anything?
I don't.
Maybe ask if. Maybe ask if she has. Maybe ask if we can. I don't know, like traps, preparations. Like if she knows we're here, she has something she can do to us. Maybe she. I don't know.
Why don't we ask if we can talk? If we can diplomatize?
I feel like that is not an option. From what we've heard of this creature, right?
Wait, we need to. She's a vampire part, right? Like sort of like that.
Ask if Auntie Elderflower is one day gonna fuck us over and try to kill us.
The answer is yes.
Not future telling. The answer would be strong, maybe. I'm
She's like vampire. Maybe sunlight is resistant. Maybe radiance. Maybe she can.
You feel the spell is starting to disintegrate.
Is there anything we can do to avoid being trapped, running into a trap?
That's gonna be yes or no. Probably yes. You
No.
can avoid by just going home.
It says no.
I mean, if it's the answer is no, all right. In that case, you don't have to worry about it.
Cool.
Right?
Upcoming trap.
If we cannot avoid trap, there is nothing to worry about. We just have to take it and hope we survive.
So I'm curious, are you attempting to use survival to find your way, or are you just doing Uncle Joe's suggestion of just, like, wandering and hoping? I know you got crap rolls, but I need
survivally direction to go to, but he got distracted by mushroom or something.
We literally just got told that we're heading in the right direction, so
general direction.
We just continue the direction.
Yeah. Well, remember you're moving through a wood, like a huge forest. Like a general direction won't. I just are you trying to use like your hunting and tracking knowledge?
I mean,
or
we have the fetishes, right? We just have to go in such a way that the fetishes always look straight at us, and continue forward.
Yeah, but they're everywhere. It's a very large space of wood. Like you won't be able to zero in that way. Because
that's not going to help.
I've kind of run out of things that we can do though.
I'm just giving you a yes or no question now. Are you attempting to use your survival skills to find your way, or are you just doing Uncle Joe suggested and just wandering and hoping?
Define survival skills. Like, what do you like?
Like tracking and like pathfinding, or are you just wandering?
Yeah, Denk will keep an eye out to see if there's any like sign of movement or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try. Like, I say we just continue in the direction we've been going, and we all keep an ear and an eye open in case we see, hear, or smell anything that we didn't see, hear, or smell before.
Joe's going to investigate for traps as we walk along, poking things with his...
Okay.
We've just been warned about traps.
So you sort of effectively wander for a time, just keeping your eyes out. Let the kind of forest take you in its ebb and flow a little bit. And, you do this for a little while. And you just kind of come to a spot where you have like a natural inkling, like... If you go one direction, like you can see there's, you come to a part where it becomes relatively impassable directly ahead of you. You can go, left, and you can hear off in that direction like a bubbling like stream kind of traveling along, and some of the first animal noise you've heard. Or you can head in the other direction where there is like thick thorns, and it looks there's like a horrible like stench of mildew.
It has a sign that says certain death this way and happy long life that way, and
kind of just an instinctual like one way it looks a lot less pleasant than the other.
I think that the babbling brook with the animal noises sounds like there might be a bridge. Now, stay with me. Bridges are all of our worst nightmares. Agreed? Good. I'm glad we all agree. So we should head the other way and avoid the bridge.
I agree.
If we're trying to find hag, most creatures, including hags, need to drink. I assume if you had a home in this forest, it would be somewhat near river.
I've got an inkling that thing doesn't drink water if it's somewhat a vampire.
Well, if it drinks blood, the easiest way to find creatures that have blood is to be near water, because every creature needs to drink.
I don't know if you want to apply logic to this, but I think you go to the nice place, bad shit happens. You go to the bad place, bad shit happens. I don't think it matters. This place is weird.
I agree. I think bad shit is going to happen either way. I just think that the likelihood of us finding the place we're searching for is higher if we go to water.
Okay, fine, but if I see a bridge, I'm leaving.
We run.
Yes.
Immediately. No question.
Level 7 magic missile, that shit.
All right.
Get
Thunder
finished to
away.
shatter it.
Get rid of bridge.
You head in the
Fire-
direction
fireball.
of the sound of the babbling sort of water. You move along, and eventually you find a little brook of a stream, and you follow the stream for a time, and eventually, like the forest starts to become a little less close around you, a little less claustrophobic. You notice as you kind of move, you haven't seen a fetish, well, you notice you start to spot the fetishes, and they're facing away from you. And as you kind of notice that, you look over and you can see a bridge. Like an old an old wooden bridge, somewhat decayed.
Fuck this.
I told you were wrong, Vladdy. Why don't
I say
you
we go
listen to you?
through the river next to bridge instead of over the bridge.
What? That's heading
Can
the
we
wrong
just
way, though. The fetishes are
How
facing
far
away
is
from us.
how big is the bridge? Like how big is the bridge?
It's just a little like single person bridge. Looks like it's not been used in a very long time.
Well, that's the point. If the
it's like a
forest
road
is
bridge?
getting more sparse, are there still the fetishes about?
Yes, you found one just before you found the bridge.
Okay.
Is it facing away from us?
It's facing away from you, yeah, from the direction you're coming.
So we'll have to double back at least a little bit, but we should probably also either go a little bit left and a little bit right, just to not go the same way we came. Like
Are you
right
trying to
now, I
avoid
imagine
the
the place to be kind of like.
I start walking along the bridge.
Okay,
Kind of draw,
you
alright,
walk along
like
the
this,
bridge.
and it's like in this half the fetishes look this way, in this half they look this way, right? And we went in.
We're in the
into
middle.
here, right? And we're now here.
Okay,
So we kind
now
of,
the mistake
like,
you're making...
I imagine anti-flesh to be like at somewhere in this area.
Okay, so the mistake you're making here is you're kind of putting it
Yes.
in the idea that you can walk in a straight line. This is it's a very deep, thick wood, so the line is more like this, and
Sure.
it's very hard to keep your direction sense going. You're going up and down through little valleys.
Could I just from my innate sense of direction, does it feel like we're going the way we came in?
It's hard to say because you just walked into like woods. You know that your direction sense is all but
Dink
skewed and
might
buggered.
know.
How long is it because I'm walking along it? Like, is it short? Is it long?
Sorry, what was that, John? I'm really struggling to understand you today.
I'm walking along it. I'm walking along.
Oh
the
yeah,
bridge.
it's a bridge. You walk across it. It's all good. It was just there to annoy
I
Joe.
will follow John across the bridge.
Yeah.
I'll like pick up Joe under my arm and then
No!
walk across the bridge.
I refuse.
So
Put me down.
it's- well,
That would be an
essentially-
opposed grapple check.
Essentially, the current question is: did we go like this, and are now on the wrong side, or did we go like this, and are now doubling back?
You're not sure.
Right? Like, yeah, exactly. So I say we turn around, and this time we pay close attention
Motherfucker.
on how much we turn, to make sure that we are not going back the direction we came.
All right, so you're gonna head back in. You're gonna focus, like try and discern sort of the direction you're going. Try not to get turned around.
Yes.
Okay. Roll a survival check for that.
Can I join him on that? Or...
Yeah.
Sure.
25. Okay. So you attempt that, and when you find yourself coming again, like with the fetishes like pointing, well, you now know to be like the wrong direction, like out of the woods, and you find yourself again kind of moving into where the woods get sparser. You are sure you should have kept good direction sense, and that in some way you are being magically deflected.
All right. Here's what we do. We go. We don't go into the direction the fetishes aren't looking. and we don't go into the direction they are looking. We go like, English words.
We should head east.
Horizontally to them.
Horizontally to them.
Head
Okay.
East.
Yeah.
East is good.
All right, you
I
move
like east.
horizontal to sort of the perpendicular to the fetishes.
Exactly.
Move along,
That's
kind
actually
of-
the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Move through the woodlands and stuff, and eventually you come to a spot where you kind of can't continue on directly. And in one direction, you can sort of there's a dead fox, just a dead fox on the ground, half
That's not going
rotted,
to stop us continuing.
covered in like maggots and just releasing this awful stench. And in the other direction, the path kind of continues on. There's a more clear kind of direction you can go in.
Can we just plow on straight through?
Yeah, you said there's something stopping us. We're pretty
I mean,
tough.
it's you.
Yeah.
It's a wood. You kind of have to move where you can move. Like you can plow on through, but you're plowing on through in one of these kind of directions. You know. Otherwise, you're just climbing up like a very steep embankment for no real reason. Because the fetishes aren't in a perfect line. The fetishes aren't like going in like a perfect like semicircle. They're just a scattered everywhere sort of thing.
Okay.
All right. I would like to investigate the dead fox and see what it died from. Would first like to investigate that it's not alive and gonna attack us and just be a zombie fox or some shit.
It's a fox. What's it gonna do? We're not chickens. I don't
Yeah,
think.
just roll
I'll give you the
investigation or
help.
medicine.
I'll help you.
Actually, medicine would be more appropriate, but
Yeah.
Or nature, maybe.
yeah. It died of sickness. It like just came here, got very ill, and like died, and like it seems like bloated in places, and like there's pus coming out.
Does it look like anything other than like maggots and other like did anything eat from the fox before it became carrion? Like
no,
did something eat from it?
No, that would all be more pleasant. It's just kind of bloated out and burst from like just
Lovely.
sickness. Yeah.
So not a lot of interesting. So there's a fox, but there's apparently not a lot of predators around.
Yeah, to be honest, this is one of the first animals you've like found.
Probably.
I mean,
You're not
lost.
hearing birds or anything.
Fox is literally a predator, so as far as we're aware, there are only predators around.
Guys,
Conclusion from the same
Nothing
evidence.
ate the fox after it died.
No.
It could be that they smelled sickness potentially, but most animals are not smart enough or don't care enough.
Oh no, animals are pretty smart. I mean, a lot will eat carrion, but they're not. I suppose they're somewhat discerning.
So which direction do you go in? Do you go in the direction with the dead fox or down the other path?
Sure, let's just pick the more macabre direction every time, and
Yeah.
I assume we
Yes,
end up
I
I was
agree.
going to say that. Go
Yeah.
towards nasty shit.
So you
Has my
pass
death
this
ward
like
run out yet?
no, it's fine. You pass. It's been a couple of hours. It's been like 2 hours, maybe free of like traipsing through the woods. You travel past this like bloated dead fox, and you move deeper in, and eventually you come to another sort of one of these areas where you've got to choose a direction. In one way, you can see there's like wildflowers have started to grow, like kind of the first color you've seen in a while. And the other way, there's a very like sick, like bowing tree that looks.
Bad shit.
You head that way.
The tree then.
You travel a little longer, deeper into the wood. You come up to kind of another point where you have to make a decision. And again, there's just a clearly, down this way, sunshine and lollipops. Maybe not sunshine and lollipops, but at least there's not, I don't know, just a bush that looks like a penis just staring at you. So every time you make a decision that you feel moves you in a more uncomfortable direction. And each time you
How
do
big
so,
is
you
this
find
bush?
it's pretty big. It's like a dink
It's
size
pretty
bush.
big.
Big enough to make you insecure.
Does
Yeah.
anyone have Awaken? Because this would be the best use of Awaken in the history
Sorry.
of Awaken.
Joking was pretty big, right? Does it seem like it's 8 inches, or does it seem like more like 5?
Can I make mental note of this bush? And once we got finished stuff of the woodlands back, we come back
Yes.
here.
Yeah, of
We
course.
get the penis bush.
Yeah. You continue. You continue
The
onwards.
Slayers take are approaching. They've got their penis bush.
Looking rough. You continue on, and eventually you find yourself like you go up a little ways, and you find yourself very deep in the woods now, and the trees become like towering above you. You kind of sort of find, fantasy redwood style huge trees that overloom you, and in between them there's like thick crawlers and stuff. And eventually you find yourself, and you're now pretty confident you're going the right direction, just because everything keeps getting worse. Like, everything seems more unwell. There's more of a feeling of foreboding in the air. You don't see, like, life beyond, like, horrible, like, fat insects and centipedes. And as we all know, centipedes are evil. Eventually you find yourself...
Can I take one of the centipedes?
Yeah, sure. You pick it up.
Can I determine if it's edible?
You look it over. No, it's not edible. It's poisoned. It has like.
I look at. I look around. Establish we don't have any dwarfs around, and I put it back. Like,
Yeah.
Could cast protection from poison and then eat it.
Vlad, what have you prepared lesser restoration today?
I have, yes.
Good. Well, I'm just thinking. You saw the fox, and I'm just thinking. Certainly there must be some diseases we can't just wave our hand away. I'm thinking, what would we do if we got infected? I think this haunted flesh may just try to disease us to death.
Oh no, she's gonna flay us. That's her thing.
It's not going to be very effective against me then.
Well,
True.
do you not have skin? Oh, I suppose, yes, because you're a tin man.
So you're standing on this rise, and you look out, and you can see, you've kind of gone up to this. There's a cliff edge, and there's a sprawling canyon, in the middle of this deep wood. Like you can see all these large trees, and then like looking down, you can just see another tree canopy, way below you. Looks like a good like several 100-foot drop. And looking on, the only way you can see to cross the canyon, the chasm, is there's a large, one of these huge trees has fallen over, and there's this huge hollowed out tree trunk that goes across the canyon. And then on the other side of the you can see there's actually effectively a plateau in the middle of this deep wood, and it looks like the plateau is the heart of this this particular section of jungle.
Well, another one bites the dust.
Alright, Joe, you're gonna go do your stinky pokey thing through the tree.
I beg your pardon?
You poke the ground with your stick to make sure there's no bad things.
Oh, you mean check for traps? Yes, I wonder what my stinky pokey thing is. Yes. For a second, I thought Auntie Elderflower had appeared. Yes, I will go and investigate for traps.
All right. So here's the thing: the tree is like 100 and a bit foot long. It's this massively long tree trunk that's gone across this chasm, and it's hollowed out. Like you could walk through this this thing. It almost looks like an entrance, like an archway into of a great bridge. Although there's like larger holes in the ground of this tree trunk. But it looks like you could walk through this tree trunk, avoid the holes, and move along. But it's hundreds of feet long.
Well, Joe will lead the way while checking for traps then, as he walks through it.
Okay, so Joe enters through this archway.
Are we sure that Joe should go ahead? He's I know you're very good at this, but
I can look for traps just about as good as Joe can do.
I get a plus 9
I get a
to investigation.
so I'm not much worth.
If you want to go first, I suppose I have a bit more HP than you. I can take up the rear.
You can take it up the rear if you really feel.
I love it when you talk dirty.
I can go first if you want me to.
All right, so you guys move into this through this tree trunk.
Yeah, I'll do a quick investigation to check for traps, but it's natural terrain. I don't know what kind of traps would be around.
I'll roll first.
Right.
You don't see any traps, and you begin to move through this tree trunk, and you kind of walk into it. And once you're about 50, 60 feet into the tree trunk, you all feel like a rumble in your feet. Like
my feet are hungry.
Yeah, your feet sort of rumble. There's a moment of like everyone kind of staggers, and then you almost sort of you look at the walls, and centipedes and worms and maggots of all description begin to pour out of the walls, and for a moment you think you're about to be swarmed by them, but you can see they're actually like fleeing for the exit, for the other end. And as you realize that, a cackling fills the air, like a
so
the whole tree trunk begins to roll, like it begins to roll off to your left quickly, picking up speed. And I'm going to move into it.
Ben, could you make us a hole, please? And I look at the side of the tree trunk as I'm like...
I mean, there's already holes in the tree trunk. Yeah, but you're over a massive, like, precipice, like a huge drop. So, this is the...
What? Oh, okay.
This is the tree trunk you're in. You can see it extends far beyond you. You can see there's, like, large holes kind of in the tree trunk. They're kind of shown by these little holes here and here and here. And you also see there are these large boulders that were kind of in the tree trunk, large chunks of rock. And as the tree trunk starts rolling, these boulders start like rolling as well, moving around and start bouncing around. And I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative because you're in a trap. Larkin would not be here because he wouldn't have been able to travel through the deep woods. Spensius, is Spensius out?
No, Spensius lives in the bag now.
Okay.
Now that the bag has medium creatures in, he's in one of them. I think he's in the red one.
I need to open up initiative tracker. So
oh, look how lovely and clear this tracker's been left. There's no fuckable dude on there.
I know, it's not so much fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, who clears the turnout after the contract?
I know, that's boring.
God forbid the rewards page.
Oh, I mean...
Or like putting players back into the take, or like...
I mean, who actually does that?
You're right, I'll just stop running contracts.
Okay.
That's sort of
or updating the calendar, I mean, what sort of...
I can't update the fucking calendar! We've been through this!
Joe, Adam, don't be ridiculous. Don't
No, it won't let me!
Archiving your maps and stuff.
I do that. I do archive my maps. I just have a lot currently prepared. Fuck you all. Game's over. We go
like 25 contracts.
We never mentioned you by name or anything. What are you talking about? Why are you getting mad?
Yeah,
it's just a game.
I'm so salty right now. I'm so salty.
Stop salting the DM.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought.
I'll stop salting Matt when he stops leaving fuckable dudes behind everywhere.
I can't help it. I just discard them.
By this?
I just discard them. It's what I do. Alright, so you can put yourself kind of however you would think you'd be initiated, like before this line here. Okay. So if you think you need a slightly different order.
Vlad and John were investigating things, so they're probably in the front, and then.
Okay, so yeah, you guys start. Everything starts rolling. One of these stones like begins to bounce around very erratically. So the dark boulder is going to move 7 squares in direction 5. So boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not directly. Oh, kind of directly towards you actually. So it's 1, 2, 3, 6. So, one of these boulders, like, flies over this direction, hits the wall, bounces off, and kind of rolls over to here. It moves quite quickly. You think if this, like, slammed into you, it would hurt like crap. And you can also see, kind of, as everything's rolling around and moving, these holes are like, they're going to move up the walls, and new holes are going to come down and take their place, effectively. Everything here is kind of up for change as the world spins around and around. Vladimir.
Sure.
On the beginning of your turn, you have to try and... The floor is moving. Roll a DC 12 dex save.
Oh, shit.
Alright, you're fine. You managed to keep your feeting alright. And you can move as you like.
Feeting.
Your feeting. You can keep your feeting okay. Me, I'm top good.
You took plenty good, my good friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess I'll move there,
Alright.
and then
So it was 20, and 30 to there.
and I'm pretty shit at dex saves, so I'll dodge.
Alright, you dodge. You kind of put yourself low, keep an eye out to dodge anything that might fly towards you.
Yeah, it's less like taking a defensive
And more just like a
position as it
wide
is,
stance.
wide stance, kind of holding my balance, trying to not fall over and shit.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, you do that. Uncle Joe, please make a dex save
Dex
for me.
save. Euro. Keep that up for me.
The boulder doesn't get opportunity attacks against us.
Alright, so you don't make it, so you stagger over this direction, bang into the wall on full prone.
He doesn't make it.
Oh, you're in Lucian's aura.
Makes it.
Well, I
Rolled
don't
a
always
50,
remember.
he has a 15.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
cool. So you make it. So yeah, you Lucian maybe grabs your shoulder as you're starting to like stagger, shears you up, and yeah, you can take your turn as normal.
Thank you, Lucian. I think we should try and stay together,
Yes.
but move as quickly as we can. So Joe is going to move to there, and he's going to dash there.
All right, you're right on the edge of that hole, but I think that's fine. Yeah, move over.
right
You're kind of
on
on
the
the
edge
edge of the hole, like woo. You look down. It's hundreds of feet down to like the canopy of this this jungle. Well, sort of more like a big forest, but yeah, forest down below
Joel,
you.
you're a wizard. You're a featherful, right?
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Okay, the other boulder is going to move in direction 9. It's going to move 9 squares in direction 2, which is it just bounces right into the wall, and then it's going to move away from you guys. So it goes boing and ends up over here.
Yeah, you better run, you spherical piece of shit.
John, it's your go.
Okay. The boulder is moving.
You have to do the dex save first.
All right,
Oh yeah.
keep your feet. Dexterity save and froze. Oh no, you fail badly. Actually, even Lucian's already gets close, but you do fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You're going to stagger back 5 squares. Oh, 6 feet.
5 feet
It's-
or 5?
Sorry. Oh yeah, I didn't change. I changed the elements to squares, but not these. Just 6 feet. We'll keep it.
No, if it is 6 squares, that's fine. It's just 6
Yeah, as soon
squares.
as it's 1 to 8, the most you can move
Yeah.
is 1 or 2 squares.
So you stagger back 5 squares, 6 squares, so just the edge of the map, and you fall prone.
4. And then I get my turn as normal, or is that?
Yeah, you get your turn as normal, but you start off prone over there. Like you fall, you roll
So
over
you-
backwards.
Yeah, I stand up. I then take the dash action to move 45 feet, maybe like that. And
Okay.
Yes, John. Stand between me and Boulder. It's a great idea. Yes.
you don't have that word. I'm looking up here.
Lucian, dex save, please. Keep your feet.
Oh,
You fail. So you go in direction 4. So
No.
1, 2,
Oh yeah.
3,
Oh yeah.
4.
It's in there.
Oh no, you do
Oh,
4.
rolled 2.
ow.
So you stagger this way, bang into the wall, and fall prone.
Could be worse. Stand up.
It's DC of 12. What the heck? All right. Yeah, you trundle along to there. Into there. All right. Cool. Denk, could you please make a Dex saving throw for me? Keep your feet. Oh, no trouble. You like run in place. Everything kind of flies by, but you're good.
Denk, destroy that boulder.
Well, if you want me to, I was thinking of going
Denk,
zoom
use
fast.
strength and push that boulder away from us.
Don't tell me what to do, John.
You runs over, shoulder barges the boulder. It flies forwards in a straight line. God, I hope I roll a 1
Only
next turn on
one.
that boulder.
Yeah, I think Denk is gonna be sort of shit. This is a bit bad, so I'm going to. No, I'll do this. I will move up to John. I will use 3 sorcery points and cast haste to twin it, so myself and John are hasted, and then I will, because I fear for the old bloke, I will use 35 meat of my hasted action to run over here.
Right, you sprint over next to Uncle Joe.
Yeah, can I like tuck him under my arm again?
No. I mean, you could actually. You could grapple him. You could take an action to grapple him, and then you would be moving at half speed, but that would still be very quick for you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But then you'd be
Joe, do you want
making...
to lift? Or you're right.
I was tempted to cast Wall of Force on the floor and stop the whole thing rolling, and that would probably screw the DM over a little bit, but yeah, go on there.
You could see what that does.
Okay, I'll pick Joe up under my arm, and I believe, yeah, that's my movement, my action. I've got Joe under my.
We need to have Take My Breath Away playing on the music thing.
Take my breath away. So you do pick up, Dan? You do pick up Joe?
Yep.
Do you have an action? Do you have an action spare to do that?
Oh no, I don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
it takes an action.
That's action to have.
Uses a section to dash.
I use that to dash, so I'll use the remainder of it to move.
Such a
onto
tease.
No, because I had to use my movement to get to Joe, to Johnny, and then I had to use my twin spell. So yeah, that's my turn. Sorry.
All right. Spin me right round. So the tree trunk completes its rotation. If you all right, so a bunch of the holes that are at the bottom right now move to the top.
Wow.
So the one in front
That
of you
goes to the map layer. Oh, you're moving them individually. I thought it was going to be like you go to the map layer and just the whole thing shifts along.
Oh, that'd have been useful.
It's like a little fruit machine. Ding 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 ding. Oh no!
Hey!
Hey!
So,
Vlad, you're definitely right on that one.
I make it!
Alright, John, you're fine. Lucian, I think you're alright
So,
where you're.
am I still standing here? I don't think I
You
can
wouldn't be standing there. You leap, like, as it, like, hits your feet, you throw yourself to the side, and yeah, you probably land about there. Yeah, you can see all the kind of holes have swapped.
Still take 5 bludgeoning damage and are prone.
Yes. So you throw yourself to the edge, take 5 bludgeoning damage, and are prone. The boulder...
Alright, danger, danger. I'm in Power Word kill territory now.
Oh no!
The rolling stone... Gonna move in direction 1!
Oh
wait.
fuck!
And it moves 10... Oh my god, that's the best thing I could have gotten. So it moves straight ahead.
Does it fall in the hole?
No, it just like it's got so much momentum it flies over it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's got to hit Lucian though.
I mean, 20
Hit Lucian, Denk, and
low. I mean, Lucian can definitely avoid that. It was like, I don't
So
know.
that's going to hit
no,
Lucian,
I can't.
Dent, and Uncle Joe are all going to get that.
Do they all take the same damage? Does Lucian not like slow it down at all?
No, it's bounces, keeps
Okay.
going.
Sure.
Hang on.
I'll make
Doesn't
individual.
hit me.
I'll make individual attack rolls for each of you.
Oh, okay.
I think makes
I'll have
sense.
a cast that.
So it
Okay.
flies. It's gonna hit. Does Lucian shield it?
No.
No. All right. So it hits you for 22.
7. Right.
Even if I had shielded it, it would have hit me.
Okay.
What?
It flies towards Dank.
That is not the Lucian, right?
12, so it misses Dank, and it flies towards
Yeah,
Uncle
that's
Joe.
the issue.
11 misses Uncle Joe. So the only one it hits is
Wonderful.
Lucian. The rest, you two manage to throw yourselves out of the way, and it's still bouncing around, but it's only hits Lucian. And you got a pretty bad
think
damage
these
roll,
rock-
Lucian. So
These rocks might be an illusion, don't you think, Dank? It didn't really seem to do much. What about you, Lucian? Oh. Oh.
Vladimir,
I'll
you look down at the precipice you could have fallen into.
That's-
Keep your feet
Right
right into the thing.
7 direction. Oh no, 7's towards Lucian, isn't it?
Yes, it would actually be.
Here's the issue. I don't think I can. I don't quite remember where the hole over there was, but I don't think I can dash past
Was
it at
just-
45.
Just in front of Joe.
Yeah, I
Joe
don't know if it
stopped.
ended there.
So-
Yeah, I know. I think if I get over there.
Well, first you got to make a
probably
dex save.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm already prone, so it doesn't do too much.
That's true.
Although,
You might. Alright.
I'm fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool.
He has
You're
Lucian,
double
Lucian.
prone.
No, he has Lucian.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah. And then I stand up
Okay.
and I'll move like there. Can I like 35, 10? Yeah, I'll move over there.
All right.
Actually, yeah.
Sprint forward as fast as you can. Like fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty much fine unless the boulder rolls specifically in this direction. I'm fine. Every other direction, it doesn't hit me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good placement.
All right.
Okay. Uncle Joe.
That boulder could really fuck me if it wasn't such a pussy wet bitch. Deck save, yeah?
Yes, dex save. Keep your feet. Move direction 1 again. Oh no, direction 4. 1 feet.
If only I had advantage. Yeah, I fall prone.
Alright, so you go in direction 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and you only go 1 square. So you just go there and fall prone.
Cool. I will move. Yep. Joe stand. And he's gonna move 45 feet. He's gonna dash again. He's like, nope. Fuck this. No.
I hate this
You know,
place.
the other thing I could do is put us into a little rope trick, but that would probably turn out bad. So Joe's going to dash over there, and I don't know if there's anything much he can do to actually help anybody other than... I mean, he could hold one of the boulders, but that means burning a 5th level spell. And that also means Wall of Force, where if it's a log rolling down somewhere... so yeah, he's going to end his turn.
Cool. You see the boulder at the end just like slams into the far wall. Like, doof. That's it. John Rook, you're hasted now. The world is spinning.
It's Dang made a huge mistake. Giving John Rook haste is like giving me coffee.
Oh no!
Well, deck save.
You have advantage from haste as
Yeah.
well.
Keep your feet. Yeah, you're fine.
Oh.
Run in place.
He really needed that advantage. It made all the difference.
How large is the hole? Can I move up around it?
I think you're on the edge there, so I think you can just go straight.
Okay, so I'm gonna move I'm gonna dash, so I have 120 feet of movement.
Okay.
I dash with the hasted action, of course.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's 75 feet. I would like then to pick up Joe, if he's willing, as an action.
I will allow it so long as you don't throw me in the hole, and I know you're tempted.
How strong is John Rook?
11 strength, not bad.
I don't think you can pick up Joe.
Joe is tiny. I put on his character sheet that he weighs 40 kilos.
I mean, amongst the two of them, I'm the heavier one. I weigh full mithril.
I can't even click my weight. Stupid.
So I can't pick him up now.
You can drag him ungainly is more what you could do. Dent can pick him up because he's a Goliath, but you could grab him and drag him along. But you won't be picking him up all impressively.
Actually,
okay,
depends where you're going, because there's a hole in the middle. Over there. It's going to come back around.
Yeah. Sorry. So while moving, I think so quickly. I can try to pick him up, but wait, no, I'm weak still.
No,
I'm
just dash past. You don't have the strength for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried. I thought I could.
You got weedy little scholar arms.
He's got noodle arms.
I mean, 11's in good shape, but it's not much.
I mean, I'm no Lucian.
I mean, 11 is commoner stats,
Yeah.
alright? Like,
It's
I don't know
just
if it's in good shape. It's like...
Don't know, man. Some of those commoners.
it's in good shape for someone who uses script.
Yeah, if you're gonna move, let's move along.
Can I move past on the side through the hole?
You don't know where the hole is
no.
exactly.
The hole's
And also, I don't
No,
think
it's-
Uncle Joe should tell you either. You should be the one having to remember this. So
Well, I saw that. I'm just thinking, like, there's like a thing there, and that's not a hole.
that's just
so I
part of
see
the
it.
map. That's just part of the map. Yes.
Okay, I moved it. So I move more 40 feet. That's dash action. That hasted dash.
Okay.
And then main action dash. I will also dash about here.
All right.
I would like to say Joe would definitely tell him about the hole if he was planning on carrying Joe towards the hole.
Yeah. Perhaps in that case, but
Not there, you dumb idiot!
But in the moment of him moving past you at 120 feet per second in a spinning
180
vortex,
technically.
180 feet per second,
Yeah,
I don't know if
that.
you'd be able to point things out to him. Cool. So you just sprint effectively and using your magically enhanced speed. Way at the back, Lucian. Yep, you're fine. I won't press the button.
Run up, get behind Vladdy, think about maybe helping him, then realise that if anyone can run out of a situation, it's going to be Vladdy. Keep on going, and stop there.
All right.
Worst case scenario, I banish myself. I don't know what it'll do, but, you know.
Look up what the words worst case scenario stands for. That's the best case scenario.
Okay, I will move over here, cut the Joe.
You need a dex save first.
Oh yeah.
Oh
dex
shit,
save first.
sorry.
Keep your feared. Ooh, thank goodness
That's
for that advantage.
15. Yeah, I need it because I've got terrible dex. Pick up the Joe, and then I've got another square left of movement, and then...
All right, you throw yourself
Half
down the hole.
movement.
No, kidding.
Yep. I'll just move in there because I don't like it when characters go inside each other because I know Joe's going to say
Oh.
something.
That's a good assumption.
I'll move to there. Here's the extra dash, and then there. As long as Joe's happy with that. So we'll go.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Hello. Oh, the
on,
holes are
Joe.
changing. I think that rock's coming towards me.
John,
Was right. It hit me first.
you are standing on a hole. Could you please make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Oh damn.
Little tiny
Is that your
big.
John?
John's.
That's me. Yep. Okay.
You have advantage.
God, I kind of really want you to fail. That'd be.
Was that enough, or was that not enough? 18.
You get an 18,
Oh,
so it's just fine. It's only a 12. You throw yourself aside. You take 11 bludgeoning damage as you slam into the edge, and you're prone. But you do not fall all the way to the floor below and take 76 damage.
I mean, that wouldn't have killed me.
No, it wouldn't have felt good.
You can choose to
The
foul
things
the
that
next
the
one.
You can- yeah, you
the
can-
canyon probably would have killed you, but...
That's the fall into the canyon. Wouldn't have been nice though. Right.
I mean, you're not, because fall damage maxes out at 20d6.
Yeah.
Unless you mean the DC on that, you're being very nice, yes.
Yes. The Rolling Stone. Go on. One.
Come on, big money!
Yes! Oh wait, yeah, moves 10 in direction 1. And it's the dark one. No, it's not, it's the...
Move 100.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
this is
it's...
light one.
It's the light one. Oh,
The
I'm
one
sad
at the
now.
bottom.
I know, I wanted it to crash into
Come on, direction
Joe.
1.
Direction 1.
Well, direction 1 is up.
Yeah, 1,
so...
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Misses everyone. I thought it was the dark one for a second and thought I was going to crash into Joe. John. Crash into Joe.
No, John, yeah.
Yeah.
You refer to me as Salt Lord, it's just easier.
Alright, I thought I was going to crash into the Salt Lord.
Is it possible to move past here, or is that not an option?
That bit there would be, it's a bit too tight. You'd have to make a athletics check. You normally could jump it alright, but the floor is moving underneath you.
I'm
Also,
not
keep your
gonna
feet.
make any athletics checks. I'm really oh yeah, I'm gonna have to not lose my feet.
Oh
Not
yeah,
lose my feet.
you do a flip.
They
He's
are
running on the
attached to my
ceiling.
body so hard. Let me quickly remember where the fucking holes were. As Vlad is running, Vlad has a higher intelligence than me. He would remember these things better than me. All right. So I believe there was one like pretty much in front of me, but I can move past that, and I don't think there was. So yeah, I'll move there and next to the others, so that we're like a real juicy target for that rock.
I know, goddamn. Give me that. Would it be a 2? Would a 2 do it? Yeah, it would bounce. Yeah, give me that 2.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It's not its turn for a little while yet, though, Matt. It's the dark one next.
I know.
So what you want?
Yeah.
Down there.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll cast a quick shoot of faith on myself. It's only a first level
Shield of
spell.
Faith. Mhm.
I don't have it prepared, so I won't.
Concentration, why ever would you prepare it?
Uncle Joe.
Yeah, it's no real
Joe,
fight, it's really no
Joe
hard
isn't
level
on the
use.
floor. He's grappled at the moment.
Yep,
so,
that's true. Would you like to break the grapple with your mighty strength?
No, Joe is instead going to hold an action to, if a boulder comes towards him, he is going to booming blade it.
Oh, damn.
That is
okay.
his held action.
Alright, yeah, that's fair. Alright, the other boulder is going to gather lots of blood. It's going to go in direction 3.
Or
1, 2, 3. So just slams into the wall. Moves 4 squares in direction 3. So slams into the wall, and then goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So ends up about here. Salt Lord,
Ooh.
you are prone. Still have to make a dex save because you might roll out into the precipice.
Barely.
direction 4 is away from it, I think, isn't it?
I think he makes it because he's hasted, right?
Yeah,
Is that how
yeah.
haste
He's
works?
also prone, so
Yeah.
that probably
Yeah.
wouldn't give him
Prone
Prone does
disadvantage.
nothing to
Oh,
dex.
Kron doesn't give this.
Doesn't do anything.
I mean, it doesn't according to the rules as written. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
that's
say
fine.
it does, I'm going luck.
No, it's fine. I don't think it would affect this negatively. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've also only just gone there. So
Alright, so I guess I survive that. I stand up, that's half my...
Yep, you stand up, and then if you want, you can just run out. Like you can jump out of this rolling thing.
We got his Salt Lord. Go.
I guess I just run out. I
Alright.
give a thumbs up to Dank, and then once I got out, I am going to make a perception
Falling to
check.
the ravine and take 76 blood.
Maybe not 76, maybe higher than that. You roll the d6. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make a perception check to see who is fucking with us this.
Yeah. All right. Well, you get out. That's the main thing. Lucian, you're way at the back.
Oof.
You fall. And you
Oh
go.
my.
You move 7 squares in direction 3. So you just go straight this way, slam into the wall, and fall prone.
That's actually quite helpful. Oh no, it's not.
Not really.
No.
Stand up. It's my movement. And I'll dash.
Poor Lucian, this isn't a good situation for the big
No.
armored dude. Just bouncing. God, my kingdom for a shatter spell.
I mean, imagine him like the ball in a pachinko machine, just bouncing
Yeah,
around.
that's just where you ding 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 ding. You're hitting the ceiling at times. Denk, could you make a dexterity save but with disadvantage for carrying Joe?
Okay, so
But with
just a
advantage
straight
for being
roll.
hasted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
it's
a
just
straight roll.
Oh,
ooh.
wow.
You make
I
it.
should
Plus
Lucian.
the boost from Lucian.
Oh, plus the boost.
Ah, that's a fair point.
You,
Yeah.
you make it soundly.
Yeah. Okay. So me and Joe, I'll deposit Joe nicely next to John.
Okay, you
Up there.
lob him out of the spinning thing.
I'll
Just
just-
throw him for the
Can I
air.
catch him?
Sure.
Yeah. So that's movement, hasted action to dash.
Can,
I'll
can
shout
John
down
roll a dex check to try and catch Joe, please?
Yeah, if he likes.
The
Denk,
dex check or save.
I don't
Check,
care.
wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I just like the
it's
idea.
pathetic.
I love the idea of Denk throwing a wizard at John and John sort of looking round and just getting a face full of wizards.
Amazing. Freezing.
Right.
1d4 bludgeoning or
It does shame damage. Right. Anything else, Denk?
Okay.
I feel
I'll shout
ownership.
down the tunnel. Does anybody else want a hand?
Anybody's elf? I don't have any elves.
Uh,
I would
can
love a
find.
hand. Yes.
All right. I will step out of the tree.
All right. Just so you know, the tree is roll. It's not stationary. It's rolling like in a direction. So if you step out, it's going to roll away.
I'll jump out of the tree.
All right.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. We'll stay until.
Yeah. Basically, once you jump out, it'll be you won't be able to really get back in. I mean, you might do, but with your like hasted speed, but you'll use your movement just to run and get back into the tree.
I suppose I'll do what Joe said, and I'll hold my action to attack any boulders that come in our way.
Okay. Spin me right round. I don't think anyone's going to be in trouble from these. Let's have a look. So you fly away, you go there. You fly away, you go there. You move away, you go there. Yeah, so no one's in danger of the holes of doom. As I like to call
That's a
them.
very inconvenient boulder.
Boom.
Doom. The rolling stone, it's the pale one this time, I believe. It's going to move in direction 8. So, 1, 2,
it's
3,
nearly forwards, but it's to the
7,
left
8.
slightly.
So it's going to
Yeah.
fly, hit the wall. How many is it going?
And
Bam.
hit.
I think
It's
it
gonna
might
hit
do. 1,
Lucian and
2,
what's it?
3, 4.
I don't know if it's gonna hit Vlad. It's definitely gonna hit Lucian.
I think it hits both of you.
Well, because wouldn't it? Wait.
Might somewhat depend from where I measure it from, but 2, 3, 4, 5.
Which corner is that basically? Like, will it end up here? Or
Yeah, it,
Right, you
I didn't-
measure it like it's a. Right,
Well,
you measure it from the middle, it's going to hit
1,
there,
2.
and then it's going to go in that direction. But it is 2 by 2 squares,
Yeah.
so that will definitely hit Vlad.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's definitely
it
going to hit
will.
you. And it kind of ends up
Yeah.
here. Oof.
Well, that's fucking
I
convenient.
know, right? So the first roll's against Lucian. And I'll hit again
I'll
for
shield
Vlad.
it this time.
Alright, you
It
bring up
hit
your
last
shield.
time.
And against Vlad, it's a 21.
21, yeah, makes it breaks it.
Cool. So yeah, you both get smashed with rock. Lucian gets his shield up. Vladdy gets squished against the corner. And it becomes super awkward as it puts itself right between you and the exit. Good
Oh,
job,
that's
Boulder.
annoying.
MVP Boulder. Vladimir, keep your feet. Yep, you make it.
I don't know. I can't really do much.
You jump the
Jump.
hole.
Go ahead and jump.
For my love.
You're LeBron James.
I'm great at athletics.
Okay, so am I. We'll be
Let
fine.
me look at. Let me look at my spells. Anything that's can I banish a boulder? No, that's creatures.
Teleportation circle?
Takes a minute. Also, will get me to a desolate island in the middle of nowhere.
Ow. 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 Boulder to the face again. I'm still drawing my circle.
Also, it's a
Is the
spinning
boulder a
ground,
fake
so you have to
creature?
like.
Can you banish it?
It's also a spinning circle. You're in like a spinning bit of ground, so you'd have to run up the wall with it as everything spins. It's like
That
trying
makes
to
it easier to draw a circle. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
hold the chalk on the floor.
It will draw it for you.
I don't actually. I mean, I could. I don't really have any like thunder spells that might like move the boulder.
Why don't you try
That
lifting the
boulder's gonna
boulder
move.
above your head and throw it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea.
That boulder's going to move. You could hold
I
an
mean-
action dash around it, but you need to kind of predict where it's going to go and not stand there.
Yeah, I mean, how difficult would it be? Like, would this jump actually take an athletics check? It's
It's only really taking an athletics check because the ground underneath you is moving,
Yeah, that's
making
fair.
it very
That's-
difficult. It's a DC, I'd say 13. And if you fail, you don't just plummet in unless you fail by like 5. You would hit the edge and be like hurt yourself and be prone on the other
No,
side.
I'm not gonna risk that shit. I have the athletics of +0, so no. I'll move here and hold my action to dash.
When the other
once
boulder moves.
either of the boulders move out of the way.
Okay. That's fine. Uncle Joe, you're outside.
I'm outside of the log.
Other boulder is going to try and gather lots of blood. Goes in direction 8, which is the same way the last one went. So it
No,
hits-
2. Right?
Oh, direction
It
2.
goes eight
Yes, sorry.
squares in direction 2.
My bad. So it goes off that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it ends up. Actually, does that hit Dank?
I think it might.
I didn't think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it stops.
Yep.
It might stop just before you.
It stops on top of his face.
Yeah, does it like rest against his nose whereas he looks at it?
5.
No, because he's
7.
measuring from the
Yeah,
the
8.
end of the boulder, right? So it'll end there, like it'll be in this space.
Boom.
There we
Oh, that space, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Dank, you boulder like slams into the roof above you, bashes down onto the ground before you, and then begins to roll, and you're like just right in front of you. It would have missed anyway with an attack of 13.
Let's move triggers, and I'll move over here.
All right, Salt Lord, you're outside. Lucian, this boulder really doesn't like you.
Oh, it loves me, really.
He's only relevant.
Okay, I don't fall over.
That's always nice.
I run past Vlad.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, delicious aura. Dank, do you do anything?
Yeah, I will.
Do you hold an action to attack the boulder?
Oh, I did, but I forgot about it.
It's fine. You attack
Well,
the boulder.
I mean-
You hit a boulder.
Bitch,
That's the extent of what will
it
happen.
does nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over here. Action, pick up Vladdy. I'll put him on my
Just
shoulder.
stretch out my arms and like, hold me.
Love
That
lifts
is-
us up where we belong.
Come on, buddy, and then we'll deposit ourselves. I've got 15 feet. Yeah, I can chuck Vladdy out the same way I did Joe, because I've got a bit movement extra.
Cool. Do you leave as well now, seeing Lucian's quite close to the edge?
No, I'm gonna stay near the edge just in case. Who knows what happens?
Okay. Boom.
I
You're-
Vlad just gets thrown out and like
Yeah,
keeps
I'll
rolling.
hold
a
my
bit.
hasted action. No, I can't do that. So yeah, I'll just stay in for the moment.
Right. Rolling Stone moves in direction 6, which is directly away from you guys, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So it's just gonna 6 squares in direction 8. Oh my
8.
god.
That's
God, I
towards
keep getting
Vlad.
them mixed up. It's
Although
gonna.
Vlad's no longer
That's
there.
outside.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gone.
So, God, you got my
I'll
hopes up
deposit
there.
you that.
It's gonna go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. God, they actually do feel like they're chasing after Lucian.
It's 6. It's 6.
It
Matt,
is.
so
It
it'll
is.
be
It
2.
is. So it's like here.
Are they like magnetite? Are they like attracted to like?
Yeah, they're mithril-seeking boulders. Vladdy's outside. Lucian, Joe's outside. Last boulder. Everyone. What we want here is a. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want a 7 or 8, something like that. Let's find out.
1 and 7.
Yeah, we want a 7.
When
Okay.
it's a 7 or an 8 would hit Lucian.
Ah, but it goes away. No, wait, moves forward in direction 1. So it flies. Because it just flies out. Vroom.
Flies out at the end of the.
Yeah, out of the end of the log, this boulder just shoots out like a bullet and slams into a tree and knocks it over. Lucian, if you want to get out, you can easily scamper. You can throw yourself to safety.
Would it hit Denk and Vlad, or has the log moved on since?
It will have moved on enough that it will, vroom, just fire. I mean, maybe.
Close
No.
call, I imagine.
It's a close call. Like Vlad, you're probably sitting there and he just zoom flies by right beside your hair and like in your beard, like ruffles as the wind goes by.
I mean, it's also a boulder being flung out of a moving log. It won't go straight. It'll probably like go at an angle.
You're right. Somehow it hits John.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a rifle. It's a rifle.
25 to hit.
I'm kidding. But yeah, it stops. You guys all leap out. You're kind of spread out across like 100 foot of the edge of this plateau. Like, Lucian's last one clatters out. And again, you sort of hear a cackling. Like, the boulder, the log just kind of pulls itself to a stop. And then begins to
back.
roll back and like slowly rolls itself back to where it started.
I did say I was going to try to perception check whoever was messing with us today.
You
Is
don't
there-
see anyone around.
Is there an area of cliff, like, how far over the cliff is it? Like, could we knock away some boulders so that it just falls down and basically...
No,
Right.
it's a massive block and it's several feet up. Like, it's not like on the very edge. Like the cliff would start like here.
Fine. Note to self, immovable rod. I love that guy.
But yeah,
I think it would just like tear a little hole into the log. And
yeah, it'd be
Stab
like
it.
just smash a hole into the side of the thing, and then your immovable rod would be in the middle of a gulch, really far away.
yay,
Note to
more
self,
holes.
Also, can I just say
immovable boulder.
it's a good thing you didn't wall of force because it would have probably just broke the log in half from the momentum,
Yeah,
and
we
then
would
you'd
have
have
been stood on top of the wall of force.
Oh, that's true. So you've just been standing in the middle of like a gorge on a wall of force.
Good
So-
times.
Good.
Lucian, you want to dish out any lay on hands, or should I go down to my own healing magic?
Yes, I can certainly do that.
Yeah.
How much do
You
you
could
need?
also like. There's nothing immediately threatening you, so you might just want to take a short rest.
You could take a short rest, yeah.
I'm gonna suggest we take a short rest.
Yeah, you've already been walking
I
for like
cast
4
Aid.
hours,
Bad idea.
so
I cast aid on everyone.
okay.
I've got here.
All right, so you guys take a short rest. I'm going to take a short bathroom break. In this, but
Yep.
yeah, you don't like you've been traveling for a while. You don't feel like hurried yet. Nothing's hurrying you at the moment.
Oh, cool.